Everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your host Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. We're here with a National League All-Star,
National and American
League. I mean, he threw for both. Storm Chandler, and if anybody didn't even know his real name, it was posted on the. I didn't ever even know your real name. To be honest, I've known you forever.
Cat is out of the bag on this one. Oh.
I still don't even remember it, but I know it's not Storm. But I was like, wait, his name's not Storm? I saw it on his locker.
Unfortunately, it is Brent.
Storm
Unfortunately, GC, are you does your dad listen to this?
He does all the time.
GC, come on, you can't take that shit.
So let's Storm. Where did that come? Let's start with that. What happened?
To be honest, I have no idea where Brent came from. It's been Storm since day one. Day one. I've never been called Brent ever in my life. So it's super weird. This whole
Not
weekend,
even mom?
No, it's been Storm. Not even when I'm in trouble. Brent, no, it's been Storm. And it's super awkward this whole weekend. I was introducing myself. I won't say Storm. I was like, oh, Brent. So it was really, really weird. But you can blame my parents on that one. Obviously, they had an argument. My mom won it. So my dad really liked Storm, but my mom went with
Did you
Brent.
ever think about telling the people that had you set up, like, hey, I go by Storm?
No, absolutely not.
You just want to enjoy it?
Yes, yeah, because they had the little magnet on the locker and had all this stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Did you have to double check? Like, wait, no, that is me.
Yeah, not trying to big league him on the first day.
No.
Okay.
And I was getting emails.
He's trying to do it again next year.
Yeah. It's in Seattle next year. So
nice.
Roth says you're a St. Louis Cardinals fan.
Yeah, big Cardinal fan. So Pujols, watching Pujols when I was growing up, and then it was kind of worked out pretty cool that I got to see it.
Is GC
He's a huge Giant fan. He's from the Bay Area,
Okay.
So he tried to convert me as a little kid, but I just like the Cardinals growing up.
Why?
That's kind of weird.
What got
Pujols, McGuire, just growing up watching those guys. So I just kept it going with the Cardinals.
How old are you? Jesus.
I am 34 years old.
Okay.
34.
You didn't have to answer.
No, it's
Hey, we had a poll up on Instagram. We did it on Twitter, and it was not to put you on the spot, but we talked about it last time. If you had to pick one for your career, would you rather be a Hall of Famer or win a World Series?
World Series.
We've had it's been
World Series.
Okay.
Just the ultimate team. That's something that you can. I know that's only a few people that can put up in Cooperstown, but a World Series ring, there's nothing like it. Dogpiling, and I guess I don't need to dogpile anymore, but something.
We've had some.
My only thing with that is some people don't know everybody that was on every World Series team, but if you're a Hall of Famer, you'll never be forgotten. You know what I mean? Like, so I guess that's where I was thinking, like, Hall of Fame, because everybody will know who I am.
Well, and you're also one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah,
Like, you're
exactly.
considered one of the greatest of all time.
But like, what's that? Dyson, right? We talk about Dyson.
Yeah, Jermaine Dyson. Yeah.
Hasn't he been like, he's won 3 World Series and nobody even knows that he's been on the team except for like some pinch runner.
Yeah, he was in the Royals for
Yeah. So that's like,
So there's good points.
Gerard Dyson?
So that's where I'm like, I'd rather be known forever than
I'm with you.
and a statue.
I picked Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah. But that makes sense. I mean, you get a ring that you can't take that away.
There's a bonus.
That's what I like about Instagram. So Twitter, whatever, you can't see who votes, but on Instagram you can see who.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. There's a lot of interesting votes for both. It was kind of intriguing, but your wife voted, as did mine.
Really?
And both were opposite.
Both said World Series?
Now I wanted to know did you know what your wife said?
Well, obviously you said opposite. So
Yeah,
World Series.
But you don't know what my wife did.
Well, the World Series then. You said opposite of you.
Opposite of you. Your wife and my wife picked different ones is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to say my wife said Hall of Fame.
Your wife said the World Series.
What?
Yeah. Mine said Hall of Fame.
She should know baseball better than that.
I just thought it was interesting.
That was an
great
accidental.
question.
That was an accidental click.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a wrong answer either. Like, I don't, it wasn't to be like argumentative, you know, but some people, it was interesting to see some of the votes. Hey, download the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker. Please go share and give it a follow or a subscribe on YouTube as well.
Well, that's up, by the way. I no longer am a part of the Brock Jones tattoo. Neither are you.
Yeah, thank God. It was close.
Hey, that was close.
It was.
I don't think people realize
he barely missed it for you.
Yeah, he did.
Our fans are way off with me.
I think he only missed it by RBIs and batting average by like 2 points.
Yeah.
Early on, you guys were in the shade for a little bit.
I was feeling real good. I was like, oh, and I didn't want to bring it up. I didn't want to put it out there.
Throw that up real quick, Storm, since it fell off. Storm's All-Star jersey.
All right, this is what they gave me.
How come
How
come the one you pitched in was different?
So that was the one with the high school. So I got a different.
Okay.
I got an American League high school one, and then this one with for the Futures game on Saturday and Sunday. So that was pretty
Needed
cool.
one of those gold unis.
Those unis were fire. The
Yes,
big
they
ones.
were.
We've both been on vacation.
Yeah.
I was in San Diego, which that ballpark that's the first time I was there, is awesome.
So much to do down there.
But we got some HIT.OR.DIE love. Oh, nice. Believe it or not, how traveled this thing gets. A good friend of mine was like at the grocery store wearing her shirt on multiple occasions and was like, hey, people just coming up to her saying, hey, you listen to that. And it was just, pretty cool.
Why
So,
wouldn't they listen to
shout
it?
out to the folks in San Diego listening to
yes.
HIT.OR.DIE. Before we get into the draft, the All-Star game, all your fun stuff, I'm going to make people listen to everything to get to the good shit.
All right.
Little
Fair enough.
American Idol.
Just fast forward to 5 minutes in.
In the news while we've been away, Juan Soto turned down $440 million for 15 years.
I didn't realize how young he is. He's really
23?
He's 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And obviously, he must hate Washington a lot. And it's not in front of me, but how bad do you have to not like where you are to turn that down?
Well, I agree with you, but then I remember I was talking to somebody, and they were it's somebody that knows like the arbitration and all that kind of stuff. Since he's never been in arbitration, if he actually took this money, there's something where he would actually not make all that, because he would have to give some back, I think.
I
don't know the entire thing, but this is it made sense when this person was telling me this. I forget who it was, but it was when he turned down the first deal, because the first deal was like,
it was still
why
a
did he
lot of
turn
money.
that-
Yeah.
it was like 400 for 10 or
Yeah.
something. Like, it was like, why did he turn that down? And somebody was explaining to me that since he hasn't been to arbitration yet, he would still owe money for something. So that's why they want him to get into free agency, where he'll end up making more money because he gets more of it. That's just what I've heard about. And I get it's a lot of money,
But he's not going to, who's going to give him that kind of money?
now when you're batting 240,
Well, nobody's going to, who's been offered that money other than him in Major League Baseball?
Trout
Nobody.
was 400
Yeah.
for,
But not 440.
Not for
440.
not for 15 years too.
No.
So
Maybe Judge won't get to that 15 years.
I don't think
but he
anybody
won't.
will.
Because Judge is what, your age, right?
He is 31, I believe.
31.
30 around there. 30, 31.
he's not going to get that in free agency. But maybe what you're saying is he can take less years and get the total
More per
will be
year,
more,
maybe.
right? Yeah, I don't know.
Was there an opt-out clause, like anything on that? Like
I
if
don't
he
know.
signs it and then because isn't the Giants pitcher Rondon?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have an opt-out clause for this year after signing that big deal?
I don't know.
I thought I read that.
I mean, he's been
Which
pretty
he'll
good.
probably opt out.
Yeah.
Well, he's not winning. I mean, he's winning, but your team's not winning.
Yeah.
So
That's that's like that A's remedy right there. Well, the Giants had that too for a while, where they would pitch and pitch and pitch, but couldn't score any runs.
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado is going to be a
Yes.
free agent.
They said he's going to stay around, all the stuff I've been reading, but he wants to win the division. He's come up with a couple comments saying we need to win the division. I don't want to be the wild card anymore. So
Well, there's
That's a
pieces
possibility.
there. I think.
Yeah.
When is Flaherty back soon?
Flaherty is now. He's on the 60.
60
so-
now, so it lengthened out. So he's
Yes.
only had like 2 or 3 starts and not even
rehab.
7 or 8 innings for the
No.
season. So,
That's been.
but there's some good youth there too.
Yes.
Like I would want to stay.
Yes, but then if they package this with Juan Soto, we'll see. Maybe they start back over again. But
I don't know. I've been thinking about that. Like, what landing spots make sense for one? Like, who's making that move?
But maybe he doesn't want that much money.
no.
Maybe he wants to. I mean, he already won a World Series.
Yes.
So maybe he wants to go somewhere where
But
he's
he
going
does
to win
want,
more
he does,
consistently.
and I think he said that actually after he turned down the first deal. I think that got brought up.
Well, you heard that they didn't even fly him to the All-Star game.
No, yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah, he was sitting coach. Him and the A's guy, right? The A's guy was sitting coach too.
Well, so what I heard with that is that the Astros actually offered him a ride.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Soto?
didn't go. No, Blackburn.
Oh, okay.
He didn't go back with the team. The Astros had actually offered to take with their guys, and so it wasn't so much like Astro or the A's did him wrong. It was more so that Astros kind of offered up a spot for him. I'd heard that the Braves had been approached to take the Washington guys, Soto and Martinez, and the rumor or the report is that their plane was full and they couldn't take. I'm like, well, they're within the division. I'm probably not taking them either.
I don't know. It's the All-Star game.
But then Ron Washington was working with Pete Alonso at first base, so I guess it all kind of evens out.
I'm flying coach. I don't know. This whatever.
It's a lot of money, but that's why there's got to be some behind the scenes that we don't know about, or he just really doesn't want to be in Washington. He's already proven he wins.
What would you
I
do?
don't know.
What would you do? I guess the ultimate question.
There's a question right there.
Yeah, what would Chad do? Are you
Do I love living there? Does my family love being there? Is the organization paying me all this money? Are we making moves to win consistently? And I think no is the answer.
But in 15 years, at some point, it's going to happen.
Figure 7 of those years they're going to be competitive.
But how do you want to wait?
No.
Or do you want to go somewhere and compete right away and then worry about not competing at the end of your career? I mean, he's only 23, so when you want to be in your prime, you want to win and be on a winning team and get more World Series rings because, we're talking about the Hall of Fame and stuff. If you have a lot of World Series rings, and you're good, I mean, it helps out.
Exactly.
So I don't know. If it was me, I would definitely think about, is the team making this move to better the organization, or is it just good for me? Am I going to sit here and lose? Because you know me, I've talked about it, and the money's not in front of me. So I can't really do that. I want to win. Like, I have played this game to win. I've coached this game to win. The money isn't a factor if I'm going to take a little bit less to win, I guess.
That's why I liked the question of would you rather have a World Series or a Hall of Fame? Because you're saying about winning, and you may never win, but still want to get in the Hall of Fame. That's why it's an interesting question.
Yeah, but I think if you're that type of player, a Hall of Fame type player, that staying in Washington and losing, I mean, I wouldn't be happy. I think I would be a better player winning than. That's why we talked about how impressive Trout is.
Yeah.
Well, and even Ohtani now.
Yeah.
Like, they lose 5-4 and they have 4 RBIs between the two of them.
They're 20 games back.
Yeah, and they started off hot. I mean, I think Ward getting injured hurt him a little bit, but still, it's like that's why it's so impressive what Trout does. Is I don't think I could go to a losing team and have that same mindset and compete at the competitive level that I want to if I'm on a winning team.
Yeah.
Do you take the money, Storm?
Oh, that's a hard check to turn down.
But also I don't have a favorite team. What if it's St. Louis? Maybe he does.
Yeah. But like you said, the family and just, like you said, all the points you made are spot on. So that's still a lot. That's a huge number.
But how much money is it really enough?
Yeah.
Like his great grandchildren.
Yeah,
okay.
and what's wrong with
that? Honestly, do I really care about CJ's great grandchildren?
You should.
Like, I want to win. Damn it! I'm not going to see them live.
Let's say you loved your job, but didn't love your employer, but you were going to make $30 million a year for 15 years. That's what the situation.
But what's my other option?
Listen, for him to turn it down, and it like
twice.
He knows something's coming.
There's you said, we don't know. It's not what just they're reporting on. There's more to this. Maybe it wasn't easy, but it's from the outside looking in, it looks like it was easy to turn it down. Because then you go to the All-Star game and you just see the fun they're having. It's like, oh yeah, I just turned down $440 million. No big. Let's go win this thing.
His price is not going up, even though he won the dirt. I don't think this price is going up anymore.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either.
23.
You touch on Mike Trout. What do the Angels do?
I don't know.
Because I think now they're still worth taking on that contract. He's still a good player. He's still young enough. Like, I would take it on, whatever it is that I got to take on to get him. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And I think
That's why I
Ohtani's
said
going to
the
want
Phillies
out.
need to step up.
You know, Ohtani's going to want out.
Yeah.
And does he stay in the American League? I think.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Does
It's a DH.
Well, that's true. The DH. That's right. It's universal DH. Well, but is he going? Is he going to pitch still? How long?
Why
How long?
wouldn't he?
Well, how long can you do that? How long can you do both?
He's from Japan.
Yeah, right.
Look at Ichiro, bro. Come on, dude.
That's true.
Ichiro's like 100 years old. He can still get out
Still
there and
hits.
rake, bro. Those guys, hey, they're just different, man. People don't understand that. The Japanese culture and like baseball and stuff, they're different. The way they grew up playing and being coached and how hard, yes, the structure and like, dude, they threw like 300 pitch bullpens and like how their arms are never.
It's a cultural thing too.
yeah.
So he
dude.
could probably play for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder because I know we have a couple of Angels fans that listen, and I just wonder what the move is there. Is it
Well,
time
I'll
to?
tell you what, they need to get rid of Rondon.
That's been a poor investment, and I like him too. That's the thing.
How much money to get? 7 years for 200 plus. And
Yeah,
he's
200
played
plus.
80 some games in 3 years.
he hasn't
he's
played
out.
a full
Now he's out.
season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now he's out
again
this
for the
year.
year.
He got in that fight though.
Yeah.
he threw a left, or was it a right or a left?
I don't
I think it
know.
might have been a left. He threw it on that fight.
He's like, you know what? I like sitting and getting paid. I'm just gonna break my arm, my hand.
Yeah, it's been rough. That was not the guy they were looking or the guy they paid to come
now,
represent.
yeah, well, Phil Nevin. So we'll see what they got in store.
And then the Orioles out of nowhere, 500 baseball, Chad.
So you're saying there's a chance?
No, well, you know what? I thought
Tough division to be in.
What did I say? The wild.
Brutal
I thought I
division.
saw the wild card. I should look it up, dude. It's not. I think it is. I think it's a 0.0, but.
No.
The Yankees are 47 over.
Yeah, I mean that division's won, but
Yeah.
like there's 2 wild cards. It's
pretty cool,
You're telling me
though.
they don't have a chance?
They do. As of right now, Baltimore's 3.5 out of the wild card.
Boom. There's a chance.
500 baseball, 46 and 46.
That guy that came in there tonight to finish, or the reliever, that guy has filthy stuff. So, you know it's in there. They got the right, that many first round picks.
And,
You know it's
yeah,
in
and
there.
they have a young crop in the futures game. Didn't they have like
They
one of the
did.
top prospects for
Yeah.
the Orioles?
Gunnar Hernandez,
Henderson.
yeah, lefty.
And then they just got Holiday's kid, which I mean,
You got Rutschman there still.
Yeah,
well, he's in the bigs right now and doing good. I mean, they're doing something right over there to figure it out, and but that's a situation where like that's like Soto. Do you wait for that? I don't know.
like you said, you already won a World Series, so maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe go win a couple.
So do you take 440?
Yes,
You do? Okay.
done.
I mean, it's hard for me to turn that down too. I don't know. It's not in front of me. But that's a lot of money to
It's
just
a lot of money.
walk away from.
You're right. But knowing that you're gonna get not that, but you could get
You're
still gonna be set for life. I don't know.
We'll see. There's moves are going to be made. The trade deadline will come up here, and I thought San Diego might be a team maybe that would go there. But what do you got to give up for that?
I don't know.
What is Washington going to want?
I saw
lot.
I saw a package for the Cardinals. I saw that's one of the landing spots. It was like the top 4 prospects, and I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
I don't. I like to.
Right?
I like to just keep it young. I know Soto's young, but just keep those guys. You draft those guys for a reason.
But
let's
do you
get 'em
think
up
it's
there
a little
before-
hype?
Yeah.
A little bit.
With
Dude,
him?
it's because he's more known for his antics. And I'm not saying that he's not a good baseball player or like, a really good baseball player. But I mean, look at his numbers. He's batting 240.
Well, in 2020, I think was his best
That's
year.
when he.
It was a 60-game season.
Yeah, it was a 60-game season. Right?
I don't know.
That's just a lot
I don't.
of money.
That's what I'm saying. I don't.
It is a
A
lot
lot
of
of
money.
money.
And not saying he's not a good player, but
So maybe that's the thing where like, but he's also probably the guy that like doesn't think that he's not good. I'm not saying, who was man, dude, I really suck. I might as well take 440 when I can.
No, I get it, yeah.
But like, maybe he should. Like,
What's the second option? 300 million then?
yeah, I know. I don't.
12 years.
I don't know.
but maybe he's more of your mindset where he'll take a good contract to go win,
Yeah.
not a huge contract to go lose.
I mean, we're all athletic. We've all played sports. We've all coached sports. It's more fun when you win.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah,
It's more fun to wake up. It's your food tastes better. You
You go to bed.
you
just
look
wait,
better
yeah.
in the mirror. Your women look
Yes.
better.
Absolutely.
Storm's beer tastes better. You know what I mean?
So this week, moving on, we had the 2022 MLB draft start Sunday. And you saw some bloodline go in the first 1-2, and then in the first round, Crawford also went. Who
There was
was
4, I think.
And the Collier.
Yeah, Justin.
Collier.
Yeah, Justin Crawford. Did he go in the first round?
Yeah.
And then Holiday, Drew Jones, obviously back to back there 1-2. Were you surprised that Rocker
Went 3?
Yeah.
Nope.
I was kind of like, I thought he would. They were like, no, somebody's gonna pick him early. They kept having him down lower on their draft boards. I was like, nah.
They were showing some of his bullpens and some of his at bats. That stuff looked like can play right now in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Obviously, probably a couple of years from now it can, but definitely
No, that's good for him.
Well, he just reunited with Leiter. Rangers.
Yeah, that's right.
They have a chance.
Yes, they do.
Because it's been ugly.
It has.
It's been ugly. They've invested a lot of money and there's no return yet. I mean, it's been a rough season for the Rangers. Brooks Lee out of Cal Poly was a first rounder, 8th overall. You had Liberty Bakersfield.
We both saw him firsthand in high school.
2019. That was he hit a home run off us. Yeah, I got a couple
was that?
knocks. Real deal.
Did you see something then?
Okay, so we had Carson Seamus. I thought he was a really good shortstop, one of the best high school players that I've seen in a long time, athletic wise. And obviously they were there to see Brooks, and I was watching Brooks in and out and BP and stuff, and I wasn't impressed. All right, I really wasn't impressed. I didn't think this guy was a first rounder. He's supposed to go like 30 out of high school or whatever, top 30. I wasn't impressed, but then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, but maybe he was working on something bad in practice. Maybe he wasn't that guy that was going out there trying to hit home runs. Maybe he was trying to, do everything that I'm trying to teach my high school guys to do, which they don't do. They try to go hit home runs. So, I mean, for having him and see what he did at Cal Poly, it doesn't surprise me now, but I think that he needed to go to college. I really did. So, but he's good. He's good.
8th overall to the Twins, Liberty Bakersfield, Cutter Coffee.
Shout out to Labby.
41st to Labs.
Shout out to Labby.
Boston Red Sox. That was pretty cool, man. He's had the last couple of years, first
rounder and a second rounder. Yeah,
he had another one late too.
18th round,
Santa Rosa. JC.
Yep.
I was with them when they saw him pitch. It was me, him, and his boss who saw him pitch at Mission Valley High School, something along those lines up in the Bay Area. I saw him pitch, and they loved him. So,
well, in Cutter, you've had a couple. Opportunities.
I'm glad he's gone at Liberty. I'm not gonna lie.
You faced him and you've been pitching to him for the last 4 years.
I've thrown BB to him a bunch of times.
Yeah,
I've never heard that kid say one word ever. He's so quiet. He's just baseball. Doesn't get into all the other antics. He's just hard nosed. Just nothing. I don't think I've ever said one word. So
not surprised.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see him. Do what he does, and Labby. You can see that. That's why Labby loved him so much. And he's really damn good.
Yeah, he is. We got to go. I mean, I saw him that workout that you guys did.
Abadera High School.
And then we got to go watch him play in Baco. And he's just, guys.
He's a professional.
Yeah. He's that even kill that Labby loves. Like you said, super quiet. But
kind of like Nick York. Nick York, same thing.
Yeah. Well, and I love that story. Like he was out hitting
during the draft.
During the draft. He wasn't having a draft party around, families getting work in. So, Brock Jones, former Buchanan Bear, Stanford Cardinal, goes 65th to Tampa Bay. And I'm not going to say I'm not a little surprised. I was a little bummed, too. I saw some high school guys go ahead of him and just thought there's a little more work there. But I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. I don't know what these guys see. And obviously, we just want him to go high because we like him.
Yeah.
Super good dude, works his butt off. But second round, 65th to Tampa, so congrats to him and good luck to him going forward. Zach Morgan, a Bulldog, to the Giants in the 7th round. Sam Bauer, to the San Francisco Giants in the 11th round out of St. Mary's, also a Redwood High School kid. Congrats to him, 11th rounder. Logan Clark, Taft High School, went in the 16th to Cleveland. Congrats to him, South Valley.
Say, really, no one really talked about that kid at all, really.
No.
He was going to Bakersfield, I believe. He's going to be a Roadrunner. So,
Andrew Cachel, another dog, 16th round, again to the Giants. And Austin Charles of Stockdale High School went in the 20th round to Kansas City.
He won't go.
No, I don't think so. He was a Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah, Santa Barbara.
But congrats to all those guys. South Valley represent well here, man.
Yes, they did.
It's funny because people probably wonder, like, why no Fresno guys on the radar? I mean, I don't know.
ups and downs, right?
Yeah,
there's
we've had
classes.
we've had our guys. Just
Absolutely.
a couple. Miller go.
Yeah, 9th round. So it just ups and downs. So next
I mean,
year,
you faced those guys. They were good. The Bakersfield schools were good.
yeah, they are.
They're big, physical. It's their time.
Yeah, and they'll be good again next year.
Yeah,
too.
those years do happen too. I remember, Stockdale's gone back to back here. Centennial's had good runs. Liberty lately's had some good runs. Speaking of Clovis and they're not shy to draft picks. You had Jake Gatewood too.
Yes,
you threw a lot to him. What was that like when all the scouts were?
Oh, it was pretty cool.
Coming around as a first round guy.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because I got to throw in front a lot of big bosses, and that was I got the easy part. He's got to put the ball in the bat, so he was launching them. I've never seen balls hit so far at Clovis High School. He's launching them way over those portables into those tracks, but he's got light tower power, and hopefully he gets the call up here pretty soon with the Angels. Maybe that's the spark they need.
Maybe. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But
when they've had guys go down, it's like there's been opportunities, but dude, the one thing I look at the draft, and we've kind of talked about this, you've posted about it, is I like to see like JUCO guys, because we talk a lot about more than one route to where you want to get, whether it's NAIA, D2, D3. And I use JUCO just because a lot of kids, and I don't know if it's changed much, but D1 bust kind of mentality or attitudes. And you posted how many JUCO players went in this year's draft. What was it, 42? 42?
Like 6.2% of the draft.
But that was
the third highest.
Between guys that played JUCO only or JUCO and went 4 years.
I think those were just the JUCO guys.
Well, I counted all the JUCO guys, and it was less than that. Like JUCO only didn't go anywhere beyond JUCO.
So you're making my post look bad.
Yeah. Well, no, it's true.
It was a recruiting.
There were guys. Well, because because Bauer from Redwood is a JUCO guy that went on to a 4-year, a COS.
Oh, COS. Okay.
Yeah. So those guys are probably in that 42.
Okay.
Out of just pure junior college draft picks, there was 22 out of the 20 rounds.
Collier kid, he was a JUCO, right? The Collier, the one that one of the first rounders.
I don't think.
He might have been.
I think he was a JUCO drafted at JUCO.
Out of those 22 JUCO only, 7 were from California.
Okay.
And it's funny because California kids go see the big lights of the SEC or Big 12 or whatever. And out of Florida, Texas, and California, schools, right? Not players from California, but the schools in California, there were 79 draft picks. To Florida's 56 and Texas is 46. So more kids got drafted out of California schools than any other place in the country. Was that kind of surprise you?
No.
Considering that the powerhouses
down there
and everybody's trying to leave?
Maybe that's why the SEC is so good, is they have a bunch of California kids.
True. And I didn't look at the conferences of who got drafted out of what conference, because that would just ruin this whole thing.
That Florida number would be higher.
Yeah, I did too.
Me too.
But that's just schools, right? That's not players from. It's just the schools in that state. I just feel like it just proves that you can do it, right? We talk about being the best on your team, right? Because I heard one of the players got drafted having a conversation. This person was very excited for this player because they almost gave it up. Because their mentality or their thought process was, man, I didn't go D1. Like,
it's over with.
It's done for me. Yeah. And he got drafted. And he was really excited for this kid. And I was thinking about, like, that's awesome. That's such a good story. And it just goes to show. I think Dylan Lee's one of those. There's a bunch of guys like that. We can find guys that went JUCO on to 4 years that get drafted and play professionally. And I was thinking about the goal, that mindset of D1 or bust. Like, should the goal change? Like, that, don't make that your goal. If your goal's D1, then I think it's safe to say your goal beyond that is to be a professional. So make that your goal. Make being a professional your goal. And whatever means necessary to get that is what you have to do. Because even if you're D1, it doesn't guarantee you professional baseball. No. You still have to go be the best guy on your team or in the conference or put up numbers and perform. No different if you went JUCO.
Yes.
It's no different if you went D3 or D2 or NAIA. There were NAIAs that got drafted. They all get drafted. If you're doing the work and you're a guy,
they'll find
it's going to happen. Yeah. So it's like, don't think D1 and then how many guys you see get D1 and then settle or like get a little comfortable. I just felt like maybe we ought to change the goal.
Well, I mean, you're also going like even at the junior college level, and I saw this, and Storm saw this too. He went to Fresno City, and when you're the guy in high school and you go to a junior college, you're still there with a bunch of guys. When you go to a Division I, you're there with a bunch of guys. When you go to a Division II, you're there with a bunch of guys. If you play college baseball, whether it be JUCO all the way to Division I, you're there with guys, dudes, guys that can play the game, that are good. You know what I mean? Not everybody in high school goes and plays college baseball. Maybe 3 to 5 guys, maybe 3 to 5 on your high school team.
And that's a good class. Yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? So, and you're going to be with dudes, and a lot of those guys that from like 3 to 5 guys from your team, only 1 or 2 of those are going to be dudes at the next level. So it's like, be happy where you're going.
Exactly.
And don't try to, like you say, settle, which is perfect because guys like to settle. I'm a D1 guy. I'm D1. Everybody knows I'm D1. I got to commit, when I was a sophomore or whatever.
It's on
now
Twitter.
I'm there. But guess what? If you don't put in the work and do what you did to get there, you're going to be in the portal the next year. Or you're not going to be happy because now you're not a dude because you're there with a bunch of dudes and those dudes work harder than you.
And the more people coming in.
Exactly.
So
every year there's somebody taking your job. So
it should get harder and harder.
It is harder and harder.
Right? Like your freshman year, your sophomore year should be harder than your freshman year. And your junior. And it should continue to increase as far as difficulty. Or you should put that on your – and that's why I'm saying that's why that shouldn't just be your goal. You want to play D1, again, I would assume you want to be a pro. You want to get your name called.
And if you want to go D1, there's nothing wrong with going to a junior college first.
Exactly. Now, I will say the numbers from this year's draft were drastically down from 21 as far as JUCO-only players. 22 JUCOs drafted this year, 47 last year, and 8 of those were California JUCOs. And again, California, as far as schools in the state of California, had the most draft picks.
I mean, it does help. We probably do have the most schools in a state.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
but I mean,
that also hurts us. For me, like, okay, 83 JUCOs.
Yeah, because they're moving. Yeah.
That freaking hurts us, dude. Like, so when you play against guys in other states, I was all American. Go try to be an All-American where there's how many high schools do we have? Like Jason, I use Jason Donald just because I play with him, and I think he's by far the best high school player in my era, of course. He was a 3rd-team All-American. The dude batted almost 600, hit 12 bombs, and had like 40-something ribs as a leadoff hitter. The dude was a 3rd-team All-American out of high school. You have these guys saying they're first-teamers in other states. Like, dude, it's so much harder to play in California because we have more schools, better baseball players, so there's less opportunities for good players to be seen, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you can go to, like, we had a guy, when I was at Oral Roberts, we had a first-team All-American. He redshirted his freshman year at Oral Roberts. He should have been a JUCO guy. He should have went JUCO because he's the best guy in the state of Oklahoma. But guess what? Now you're at Division I, and you got 12 JUCO Cali guys that have already gone the JUCO route, have played
2 years older than you.
Exactly, and you're not going to play over us. Plus, we're not going to allow you. We're not going to allow you to play over us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's where it's like, I think it's great California has more, but I think it's a disadvantage to a lot of us.
Well, and that's also making a decision based on what? Like, I'm the state player of the year. I'm going to go red shirt, or I'm going to have to red shirt. Did I make that just because of it's a D1 and that's where I think I should be, not what's technically best for me?
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah.
How often does that happen?
I mean, he ended up playing his sophomore year.
Right?
But
It probably happens a lot.
It does.
Probably does.
Just because it looks best, it looks better, it looks right, it looks the part, it looks where I should be, doesn't mean that's actually where I should be.
Which is a great point, because if the ultimate goal is to play professional baseball,
you got to play.
Then what it looks like now shouldn't matter if the end goal is professionally.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever means necessary.
If my best opportunity to play professional baseball is to go to junior college first, rather than be the D1 guy and not make it there, then why not go to JUCO where I have the better chance to making it professionally?
Move forward, yep.
And that's what I love. Like we talked about with Labby, is the draft and follow coming back.
Yeah.
You were still there when the draft
Yep.
followed, right? It is the best thing. I'm glad they're bringing it back because it's going to help junior college out, especially California with how many schools we have. You're going to get those D1 arms that are going to be like, you know what? I want to be a professional baseball player. I'm going to go to Fresno City or wherever junior college.
not waiting until
I get in
21.
trouble pubbing
Yeah.
Fresno City so much around here by all these freaking other fans.
You're supposed to.
If I'm going to go to a junior college in California, you know, screw it, Fresno City, because we're just better than you. No, we will be. But I'm going to go there and be a professional baseball player. That's what you should do. If you want to play professional, you're going to go for 3 years and maybe be a professional, or you're going to come here for one and have a better chance because you're already on the radar now. Because once you go to a D1, maybe you're on their radar, but they know they have to wait for 3 years. So they're not going to look at your freshman, sophomore stats until your junior year. But you come in like Spolero, right? He didn't get drafted. He's going to St. Mary's. His best option, the way he is right now, and I don't know the kid. I've never talked to the kid in my life. I just think his best option would be to go to JUCO because he's on a radar. He's on professional scouts' radars.
He is.
He has a chance to come to City or wherever, Reedley, COS, wherever, for a year and get his draft stock and get some money, especially with the draft and follow coming.
His first start at Clovis. I mean, his first start at Clovis High School this year. Track. There's 5-6 scouts there with radar guns. So, like you said, he's already known. So,
Were you guys keeping pitch count that game?
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You want to hear the
It's
answer?
an inside joke for the people that aren't from our area.
Sorry, ball guy.
No, but I go to 2019. That was the last full 40-round draft.
Yeah.
And this is where I was telling you that a couple weeks ago about how I feel like it's more challenging for kids to get in professional baseball just because obviously there's less rounds. They've cut teams. There's just not as many opportunities to get in professional baseball. There were 108 JUCO players in 2019, and that's JUCO right out of JUCO. And that might be off a little bit. I may have miscounted.
That's still a lot,
Still
though.
good. Yeah, it's a yeah.
Especially like that. That surprises me, honestly, because I got back in the JUCO game 2 years ago, so it was like right after that. And it to me, like being in high school, like I didn't think JUCO was putting out that many.
So out of 1,217 picks in 2019, 108 were right directly from JUCO. That's not kids that went JUCO to 4-year either.
Yeah.
Just straight.
That's
from JUCO.
just straight JUCO. All
That's
those
good.
numbers. So that's what I'm saying. If the goal is to play professional baseball, there is, and we've said it a bunch of times, but I go look at the numbers. Go do your research and homework. You don't have to commit to D1 to go be a preferred walk-on or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, not only that, like everybody gets a scholarship, but you don't really get a full scholarship. So take your scholarship that you're offered, put in your, calculate it. How much am I still going to pay? Does it benefit me to go to a JUCO and pay, what it is in California? It's not expensive, right? It's pretty cheap to go to a junior college. Plus, it's free now in California, junior college. Okay, so that's even better. I can go to school for free for a year or two and still have that chance to maybe go D1 and get professionally. Or I could go pull out some school loans or whatever to go Division I with my scholarship because baseball doesn't give full scholarships.
and that's not changing anytime
And
soon.
NAI doesn't give scholarships. They only give academic.
Yeah, school stuff.
D2 has less scholarships, so they do academic too. So if you're not smart and have good academics,
JUCO's your best.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
JUCO's your best way to go free school and and if you're good and go there. But if you're smart and can get academic money, then, if that's what you want to do, then go. I'm not saying that. But if you want to play professional baseball, what's my best option to play professional baseball?
The City, what was your reason to go to City?
I wasn't good enough to go anywhere else.
But I mean, you wanted to continue to play.
I wanted to play. Yeah, and I really
You still had the desire to play.
Yeah, moving forward. Yeah, and I need to hit the weight room. I need to do a bunch of little things that make me try to get on the field. And there's no shot I could play at the next level coming out of Clovis High School. So, and that's why Fresno City was the best spot for me, and it worked out good. I loved great 2 years of my life at Fresno City. So I know every story's different, but I think you guys hit it right on the nose right there.
Well, what do you tell guys that? I mean, you've been a longtime assistant at Clovis High from James Patrick, who's a legend around here. Recently with Chris,
Well, and your dad all those years.
Yeah, and your dad being around for all those years, you know, being around Essien, Coach Essien all these years, and you know, Coach Sharton all these years, doing a lot of loyal.
Yes.
What are the conversations that you have with, you know, one of the better leagues players? You know, that track is one of the better leagues. You know, where I'm sure a lot of those kids are seeing the
D1 and
the bright lights. You know, like what are your conversations that you have with those guys?
And a lot of them that's what they think. That's mentality. It's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, they have to be smart about things. You know, if they go somewhere to like a D2 somewhere like the Masters or Menlo or someone like that. Something doesn't work out. Now you're back home. So I just think that's always a great option. JUCO is always the best spot, even if it's City or Reedley or any of those schools. It's great for some of those kids. I mean, can you tell me a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid going away right now to college to do their laundry, do stuff, you know, to cook for themselves? So it takes maturity, and some aren't ready for that. So I believe that, you know, junior college, there's nothing wrong with going there, and you know, the coaching's really good throughout the league and just getting better just every day. I believe that's.
And it sounds like we're selling JUCO. I want people
but
to
I've
understand.
always sold JUCO.
I know.
Because I'm a JUCO.
I know.
bandit
But
or
it
whatever
shouldn't get a bad rep though. It shouldn't.
And
it
I don't
shouldn't
know
get
if
that
it
bad
does.
rep.
I just don't think kids look at it like they can achieve what
The main
they
goal is.
say they
Yeah.
want to achieve. They
Yeah.
say they want to. Like having Marcus,
Yeah,
you know, Marcus,
I was,
and talking.
I was at City when he was there.
And
So it's just-
but guys, like, you can only say it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Like if this is my best option, then and City's it. The state's not on me, so City's it for me. That's my best spot. I now have to shift my focus on I'm going to be the best player at Fresno City College.
Make that a goal. Make that.
Right, I'm going
Make
to
'em
force
want
the
you.
guys to come bring their radar guns. Right, and I'm going to put up the numbers that are going to force them to make a decision on whether to draft me or not.
And college coaches like JUCO players. They do because, don't get me wrong, a lot of Division I's, they like bringing in their high school guys because they can get them into their program and kind of mold them how they want to, right? But they do like JUCO guys because they have college experience and they can come in and compete right away. A lot of the freshmen, if you don't have I know we don't do 4-star, 5-stars, but you know what I mean. If you don't have a 5-star like Cutter Coffee,
Like
that could come
tools,
in.
your tools. Yeah,
How many
basically.
Cutter Coffees around here? One. Okay, so if you don't have a Cutter Coffee that could come in and possibly play right away, you're molding those guys for a year or two to come in and play that. But I need guys that can come in and play right away. So I'm going to go after JUCO. You know, Texas did it a lot when I was in college. Obviously, the mid-majors, the small schools do that a lot because they need to compete with those schools right away. But a lot of those schools, the big-time schools, they go get a JUCO guy because they need somebody that's going to be mature, that knows how to play in a team, you know, a competitive team, and then they come in and they can compete right away. So, I mean, that's another thing that kids need to understand is you're not just going to play JUCO to play another slapdick summer league type baseball. It's competitive, and California is there's a reason why we're not in the World Series for junior colleges. Okay, there's a reason why they keep us out, which I wish they wouldn't. I wish they'd take the best North and the best South and take those two and go, because I think they do that in Florida. They take two in Florida and go.
It's like in Nevada too. Something like I think Nevada does that as
Do
well.
they?
I think so.
And maybe
this
Texas.
far west.
See, it's just like there's a reason we're really good here, even in junior college. We just saw it with, you know, the state champion. Riverside won the state championship against Ohlone. Ohlone was one of the best teams to ever have a season like they did this year. You know what I mean? So if you don't think it's competitive, then go watch it.
It was real competitive when I was there, and it was real competitive when you were there.
Oh, yeah.
We went to the Final Four in my freshman year, and that was just eye-opening on some of those teams.
How
that were
fun
just
was that, though?
So much fun. Oh, my gosh.
And like
I didn't play all that a lot either, but it was so
just to
much
be a
fun.
part of that.
So much fun.
And that's what I tried telling the guys this year. Like, when we got in the playoffs, I was like, look, it's anybody's game now. Right? It doesn't matter if we're playing 11 seed or whatever. Like, everybody's in the same boat. We're playing to get to the same spot. And I'll tell you this from experience. As we get to the Final Four, it'll be something you will never forget in your entire life. Whether you win or lose, that is going to be like your College World Series.
Yes.
That's the feel you get.
It is.
Like, you get treated that way. Like, they bring you in, they feed you, they do everything for you. They're tents, there's barbecues, there's like, they do they roll out the red carpet for you in junior college.
Yes, sir.
Like, why would you not want to be a part of that when there's only 8 teams in Division I that get to be a part of that?
Yeah. And the best part, it was at home.
Ready to go play right now, bro.
Fresno City. That was the best part.
You know, you get to sleep in your own bed. That's what I'm saying is like you have a better opportunity to experience that going to a junior college in California, like a good one. And rather than if you go to a Division I school, there's 200 plus Division I schools, only 8 get to experience that. You know what I mean? And like D2, it's the same thing. There's only a few schools that get to do that.
Carry. There's nothing wrong at a high school going Division II, going that route.
No.
If that's something you want to do and you're ready for that, by all means, go. There's nothing.
Go be the best player in that conference.
Absolutely.
It all comes down to you.
Yeah.
Wherever you end up,
your fit is.
Yeah, and wherever you land, at that it's on you. And I mean, we've beat this down.
Yeah.
Labby's beat it down. We've talked to numerous people that have beat it. It's on you when you finally get to where you get or end up. It's on you.
And the goal should be the same, like you said.
And just go dominate.
Yeah.
You know? And listen, if you go dominate for 2 years at Fresno City College, and for some reason you don't get drafted, guess what? I'm sure there's a D1 out there ready to take you.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
And so the dream's still alive.
It was tough this year.
Well, yeah.
Just because they're getting down to 35 again.
Rosters, and again, the draft cut in half.
Yeah.
It's challenging. But I'm saying that it's still an option to go play, okay, D2.
Are the COVID players still around? Are those the COVID years still around?
Yes.
So those guys are my age now, running around. Those guys are 34 running around.
All right. We had a 24-year-old. 20.
There were a couple 24-year-olds.
When you
there were
say
a couple
that,
22-year-olds, 23-year-olds. My freshman year as an 18-year-old, I was like, damn, these guys are old.
Grown men, yeah.
It's like,
that's weird to say that. You got 24-year-olds and you're
no,
talking
maybe
about.
they're 24-year-olds at the 4-year, not 2-year.
Well,
They're 24 at a 2-year.
You had something. You had to go to a mission or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just say that and you think like, well, Juan Soto's 23.
23
is like
440 million.
And he's in his 3rd or 4th year of professional baseball.
With a ring.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Getting into the nitty gritty, the All-Star game followed the draft, and Old Storm here, you were a BP thrower, right? You got to throw.
I got to be part of it. Yes, it was a pretty cool 4 days. It was pretty cool. Something I will never forget.
So take us from the beginning. How did it even happen to where you got to do this?
So I'm good friends with Labby. You guys all know him well. So I coached with him one summer, probably was like 25 or 26, and just got to become good friends with him. And then I've thrown for him multiple times, and he asked me if I wanted to throw at the area codes probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, absolutely. So I just threw at the tryouts, got to throw at the games, and all those area scouts who run that Oakland A's team were just like, hey, you throw good BP, and just want to keep coming around, which I did. And luckily I got to, Tom Kunis called me, the Dodgers scout. He called me. He's like, hey, I got a call from the Dodgers guys saying, hey, it could be an extra guy, throw BP. Do you want to do this? I'm just like, absolutely. Tell me what I got to do. I'm there. So he put me with the Dodgers guy, and I just talking here and there, and it all worked out. So I'm very lucky I get to know Labby and just get to throw for them, and it all worked out that way. So
now the biggest question is, was this a better home run derby experience than the hit or die home run?
No, it wasn't. You know why? Because
Storm was our thrower for the home run derby.
I was on the field for 3 minutes at Dodger Stadium on that Monday afternoon. I'll tell you that story.
Really?
I'll tell you the story. Yeah.
But and most of the people in our area that listen know this guy is the
best,
ranked number 1.
Yeah,
as far as BP is concerned.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some challengers, but
there are. You believe me? There's some challengers out there, and I'm not the best. So I just
I
like to give kids a good look.
You're the best. That's okay.
Like
this is a hit or die podcast. What we say on here.
All right, perfect.
Come on, all right, Storm.
Chad will tell you this is the number 1 podcast in the world
named Hit or Die.
Named Hit or Die. And he did our home run derby for about 3 hours.
That was fun.
It was
We felt so bad.
110. You're probably still recovering.
I get really lucky. My arm does not hurt, and it's just not a whole lot of muscle on this arm, so I can bounce back very quickly. But I am very blessed to be able to throw it. I can go back any day.
So you get down there.
So I get down. So they needed me on the 12th. So this is like the rehearsal for the home run derby, the big boys. So I'm expecting no idea what to expect here. So this one guy, Cody Decker, he played in the big leagues
with the Giants.
Yes, played in the big leagues. So he's kind of setting this all up. So he's out there, and like him and like 7 other college guys or some high school guys flirting around. Kind of just they hit. And they had all the media people there, and they had everyone like a real home run derby, had now batting Pete Alonso versus Juan Soto, had the jumbotrons and all this. It was literally the rehearsal from like 5 to 7. So I was one of the guys that got to throw it. So it was pretty cool. And now I know why those things take for 7.
Who was hitting during that?
It was like just college kids.
Oh, you're just throwing to random college kids?
And high school kids. Now I know why that thing takes 4 days. There's TV timeout after everything. The 30-second, the minute thing. It's like, I was like, no wonder why this thing takes forever. So that was pretty cool. And then I got to go back on Friday. So then Friday through Monday I was there. So Friday was the high school All-American game. I got to throw to one team. This other guy got to throw to another team. Brett Main. Yeah. He was really nice. He got to throw to one team. Like I said, I got to throw to the other team. So that was cool. I was just in the dugout, just hanging around.
You got to coach first?
I did. So Reggie Wilkins, I think that's his name. Reggie Wilkins, I believe.
I don't know.
So he's coaching first, and he comes. I'm at the end of the dugout, just hanging out, and he's like, "Hey kid, you want to go out there first? I got to go to the bathroom." I'm like, "All right, cool, I'll go out there." So I go out there. We score 5 in one inning. I was like, "Son of a bitch."
You're stuck now.
Yeah, I was like, "Damn it." So I go at the end of the dugout, and I was like, "Hey coach, you going back out there?" He's like, "No shot." He didn't have to go to the bathroom. He's at the end of the dugout the whole time.
Just chilling.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. David Eckstein was the manager, or part of the big Cardinal fan, 06 World Series MVP. So that was pretty cool. I told him, I go, "Coach, I don't have a stopwatch. So do you like?" So he's like, "I'm going out there." He was like, "Just tell him to go." So that was pretty cool.
You did the high school one too?
The home run derby. Was it the next?
So the next day was the high school home run derby with the 2 kids. So me and Brent got to throw to all 8 batters. Excuse me, I threw to 4, he threw to 4, and the 2 guys I threw to, Aiden and Braden, they got to move on. They hit the most home runs. So they asked me on Monday would like to throw it on at Dodger Stadium. So I was like, let's do it. So it's pretty exciting.
So when did they do? Because they actually do that during the big one, right?
Yes.
You come out.
So the I guess the practice round to see how many home runs they hit was Saturday morning, first thing. Then the Futures game BP, and the Futures game was right after that. So that was pretty cool. And the Futures game right after that, I thought through the National League team. So I will say they are a lot more selective than the high school kids. I don't know what it is. Like I'll throw one kind of like maybe away, but it's still a strike, and they'll pass at it, and I'm just like, are you kidding me, these guys? And especially
I'm the best in the country. I'm here. I'm the best in the country. You hit.
I'm not saying that. But some of these lefties, early in the rounds, they want to work oppo. They're like, nope, not even looking at that. And I'm just like, all right, whatever.
Turn and burn.
Yeah, so I started to go a little bit middle in, but they're launching them. That was.
You have any Latin guys come up and talk to you in Spanish?
They call me Pappy or Poppy like 9,000 times, and I had no idea what they were saying. There was one guy on the Met. I had to turn around. I usually don't turn around because I like when they do it, but he hit one. I swear it was through the ballpark. It was Alvarez's last name. Plays for the Mets. He's a catcher, and it was at ease too. Boom! I turned, and it's literally like underneath. It was literally like the second deck at Dodger Stadium, like right underneath it. It was. They got some bat speed. The higher they get up there, but it was pretty cool. And so after I was done throwing, Brent threw to the American League team. So I was just hanging out with Jimmy Rollins was the manager. Just everyone's there. Like Vernon Wells was kind of talking to him. They had a good story. It was him, Adrian Beltre, and Jimmy Rollins were sitting there talking, and they were like. Adrian was working with a hitter, and Vernon Wells comes up to him. I'm literally just standing right above the cage, right there with him. He's like, "Hey, what do you like? Are you liking this way of hitting?" And Adrian Beltre, quote unquote, can I cuss on this?
You can say whatever you want.
He said, "Fuck no, I hate this. I hate this type of hitting." It was hilarious. So
he's talking about the new age.
New age. He goes, "I fucking hate this." He goes, "If we both hit 220 right now, our bags would be packed." That's what Vernon Wells said, and. So it's kind of cool to listen to them. Those guys played in the big leagues for 15 years.
Beltre's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, and what they were showing some of these kids, just, same thing Andre Ethier. Andre Ethier was the coach on the National League All-American, the high school team. And he was telling those kids, I wasn't throwing that round. He was telling these kids, top hand, boom, think the other way. Line drives over shortstop head. Line drive over second baseman said, you're doing this immediately. And those kids were listening, but it's just funny. Those guys, 4 guys that played in the big leagues for a really long time, teaching what,
the old school way,
exactly.
Kind of, or what not everybody says old school,
but not old.
But it's like the right way to hit.
Yes, yeah. So that was pretty interesting to see. And so it's funny. Jimmy Rollins was he had another good story. He so this kid on the Guardians, Noel was his last name. Big, huge Dominican guy. He was launching him way out of there at the ballpark, and he was like, "Hey, kid, I was." He goes, "Where'd that land?" I was like, "Oh." about 900 yards that way. And he was like, well, I was playing shortstop when Giancarlo hit the home run here. And he was like, I was playing short. And you could just tell off the bat. And he just went like this and turned around. Guess they just wore out the pitcher at the end of the dugout.
Because I think there's only been 4 guys to hit it out of the stadium.
Yeah, I saw that one. He hit that. I mean, that was insane.
Yeah.
So it's just listen to those guys. Pretty cool. Just everyone's down there. And, and Griffey was in the dugout hanging out. CeCe's running around just like.
Griffey.
Yeah. Griffey was pretty cool. He's pretty tall. Didn't realize how big he was.
Now, how like worried were you, or scared? Did you get any autographs, or you didn't want to be?
No,
that's
what
tough,
my dad
huh?
asked me
That's
too.
tough.
My dad
You didn't
was
get
like,
one?
No, my dad was like, "Well, you
Nothing.
pick up autographs." No, I'm like, Dad, I'm in a jersey. I'm not like, hey.
Well, and you're wearing Kershaw's number too. Like,
yeah. So I don't be like, hey, can I get your
Eckstein.
autograph?
Eckstein,
Eckstein.
yeah.
But no, I didn't ask for any autographs. I was trying to go for Pujols, but on Monday it just didn't work out. It was pretty. On the first 3 days, it was really, really light. I walked around the whole ballpark. I went in Dodgers clubhouse at one point. There was really nothing going on. Like no one told me to not be anywhere. But Monday, it was the home run derby. It was on off. So it's unfortunate because we went on right after Pujols just beat Schwarber. So I was right there at the end of the dugout, right there, kind of at the right by
Did he
home
really
plate.
beat Schwarber?
Did he beat Schwarber or?
I think Schwarber got 2 more hits. Schwarber got 2 more hits. Excuse me, 2 more swings.
I noticed
the clock was at 0.
I noticed on the broadcast.
Well, when we were watching it on TV, because we see it, it didn't look like he was trying to hit home runs.
No, he was not. So people started talking about you can let Albert go on.
Exactly. That's what we were thinking.
I was literally right there in front, right when those guys were all giving him a hug right after he won. That was pretty cool. But maybe Schwarber wasn't, because there's a couple times he let it loose and those balls are just
at the end when he was getting down to the end of he's like, oh crap, I got to go, and he started launching them. Like, dude,
I don't know if those balls are juice, but those balls are pretty slick. I'm not gonna lie.
The
home run derby balls.
are they weird colored?
No, they're purple. Like, I should have brought it. Dang it, I swooped a couple.
But the ones they hit at the extra time, don't they use a different color?
Yes, they're purple. Yeah, they're
do
purple.
they feel that? Did you feel one of those?
I
Are
did.
they the same?
A little bit. They're a little bit different, but I don't know. Maybe that purple has something to do with it. I don't know if they're.
Yeah,
but they are.
Those look
they
just
are a little
weird
slicker.
to like see, even like harder to see. Now I want to ask you. Sorry if I'm bug. You did the high school. Now you coach high school.
I do.
And a lot of these high school kids in our area, because we have a good high school,
following.
They
yes.
think they are the shit. But you got to see the best in the country.
These kids with wood bats,
size
they are loud. I mean, that one kid that I got to throw to on the Braden Holcombs, he's going to Vanderbilt. This kid is a brick wall. Like his traps are freaking bigger than my body. He's a brick wall. So it's just their bat speed is just different. They're just the ball just sounds different off their bat. They run. Their freaking arms are just
they're built.
They're grown men at the age of 18 years old or 17 years old, whatever they are. So that's the one thing. The weight room,
lift, yeah,
the weight room, 100% weight room. I mean, they had to lift. I know they're given some ability, yes, that they have some bat speed, like that Max Clark kid. I didn't get to throw to him, but he's the blonde hair. I don't know if he's
he's the 2023 number one prospect.
Yeah, he's just everything's just launch and it just sounds different. So there's bat speed, and I imagine that comes with just fast twitch muscles. Obviously, they're born with that, but weight room, those kids are huge. So it's pretty cool, to see, throwing to those types of kids. So it's very interesting. I like.
I could just see him at Clovis this year, dude. I got to throw the best in the country. Get out of there.
No shot.
Those A1010. What are these baseballs?
Yeah.
Get out of here. And then you had the game. Well, you had the actual derby, and you see Soto.
So you were down at the field for the derby.
So right at the end of the dugout, right there, kind of where the camera crew was. I was right there, kind of for the most part of it. We were in the bullpen for a while, and then we worked our way to kind of right there when Pujols and Schwarber got closer to, but when they got to hit, so immediately. The guy told us, he was like, you go out there, they both get a minute each. They get 5 practice swings as soon as they're done.
So you threw in front of a packed house.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say,
it was pretty cool.
Put that up there. And
scared?
At first,
nervous?
I was like, shoot. I was walking around because we waited so damn long. They told me to be there at 3:15. I didn't go on till 6:15. So like, why am I down here at 3:15? So I was just waiting around.
That's when you should have been getting autographs.
Yeah.
Storm. Come on.
The thing is, they didn't make us hit in the field. I wanted to hit, or excuse me, I thought we were going to hit underneath the cages. We hit across the stadium. They call it like the 76 station. It's literally walking distance from the field. And they had a cage there, which is about the size of this room. And these kids are I'm just throwing and ducking.
Jeez.
These kids are just hitting just missiles. I thought I was going to get a black eye, but we didn't walk over to the bullpen probably till about 5:30, and then we worked our way down the field. But it was pretty cool. After the first couple of pitches, I was fine.
You just in that zone.
Yeah. I mean, I feel I'm more pressure for the kids. They were the one that's got to freaking
Billy Chapel,
that's just-
right? You just
But that's when you know you're the best.
yeah.
It's like, I would have hit the
Oh, I would have been awful.
I would have thrown it in the ground. Like who's this slappy?
Who was the first the Marlins dude, right?
Yeah,
The very first one to do a change
was throwing cutters and yeah. I saw Acuna's guy got a little.
They said Charlie Morton, right?
Yeah,
They should have picked Charlie Morton.
What was it like watching those guys and then watching Rodriguez put on? They they all put on a show, but
It's just something different. Nothing I've seen with my two eyes. It's just right there live. The balls just launch out of there. They're just this nice and easy too. They're not trying to do it. They're just boom,
It's effortless.
Boom. Yeah, it is.
it was like being in San Diego and going to that Padres game. I called Labby when I got back and I was like, dude, like there's really good baseball around here. No arguing that. But watching some of the young guys for the Diamondbacks, there's nothing even close. There's nothing that resembles what I saw.
Yeah.
Obviously they're a little older, but not much.
Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy the difference. And when I hear we talked about it last week when I heard him say, I'm looking for big leaguers, and I always see that now, and I think about what he said, and just seeing those guys, like even watching Loop take batting practice was
Different.
it's just fun, man. I just enjoy it. Like it's work.
Yes.
It's their job. And Loop was working, and I was seeing him getting irritated. But it's fun. It's fun to watch these guys at their office.
Yeah.
Soto pulled out the Derby, and then it followed with the All-Star game the next day. American League pulled it out for the 9th straight time, 3-2, which I thought the NL was going to get it, man. I really did.
Got to a hot start, but they get into those bullpens and everyone throws 107. It's like, how do you even manufacture one over?
Yeah, and you just need to get comfortable with one at bat. And
What was the tie break? What were they saying? Most home runs? Was that listening? Was that a true statement?
I don't even know. I saw that they were doing something or like a swing off or
Yeah, there was like whoever had the most home runs that
something,
day
yeah.
and got to win. Or I was like, oh man.
which is it still? I don't know if it still determines home field for the World.
No.
It doesn't anymore.
Not
Okay, I didn't
anymore.
think so
No,
because
yeah.
I was watching like, man, it's kind of.
American
Pretty
League 9
chill.
years in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty chill for that being on the line.
Yeah. No, not anymore.
You brought up the uniforms. I loved them. I know as a couple people mentioned, like I also like just their natural road home is great. But I thought these were awesome uniforms. I don't know.
Yeah. I actually like how they have their All-Star uniforms. I mean, it was cool having them in their own uniform, rode in a way, but I think this was kind of something different. Maybe
was,
I don't
yeah.
know. It just looked
Maybe
it looked cool,
Hollywood-esque,
like
maybe
more of a team like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd like that though.
I'm not a huge fan.
Did you see the other one?
Yeah, with the teal.
The teal and
Yeah.
the white.
But it's like, to me, it's like, it's LA. Why is there orange and teal on the?
Yeah.
Like it didn't make sense. I could see like the baby blue and maybe a royal blue, but I just didn't know the
Looked
orange.
like more Marlins to me.
Yeah.
If it was in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, that caught me off guard.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna give it back though. Like, I might give it.
Hey.
I'm framing it.
Have you slept with it at all?
No, I have not.
Don't lie, it's okay.
It's all good.
Look, you got the 1 star for the All-Star
got the
appearance,
American
dude.
League.
That's sick.
Hopefully Labby doesn't make fun of me too much for framing it.
No, no.
Labby, come on.
Let him go. What? So I think the best part is all the mic'd up stuff, right, during the game. I mean,
Oh yeah. Like Manoah calling.
it's great. It was great.
Calling the hitters, Bayou, Acuna, right down the middle. Like that stuff's good.
And then Ortiz said he'd take him deep.
That was my favorite one, dude. I was dying laughing when he said that. I'll take you deep.
Yeah, I know people want to see that, but they're trying to win baseball games during the season. Like, you can't have guys mic'd up like that. They're not having. You're not talking to a pitcher, when he knows he's got 1 inning. to just blow it out and have
Maybe
fun.
that's why they're doing the center fielder, like on the Sunday night broadcast. So
Yeah.
they start out there, and I guess Lindor does it a couple times at short. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on.
They're trying to win games.
Yeah.
It's just tougher. But maybe put, microphones at the bases or like so you can hear
it's like in the
how the
playoffs.
shortstop and second baseman talk
The
up the
playoffs,
middle.
it sounds like they mic everything in the
Yeah.
playoffs.
Yeah. I think maybe more of that. That'd be kind of cool.
The base coaches, maybe, I don't know. Like maybe let them, or maybe the managers. I don't know. So I guess a lot of F-bombs.
Did you guys happen to see the viewers, the ratings, the numbers?
I did not.
Did you see that post?
Yeah.
I was at
Yes,
the
I
coast.
did.
I didn't get to see
It's pretty
much.
cool to see what it was. Just even so, I saw a post from 1992 to 2022. In 92, the All-Star Game had a viewership of 21.9 million viewers, and in this year it was 7.5. Just crazy. Obviously, there's wasn't much to do. There was no Twitter back in 92 to stroll.
Like you only could watch it on TV.
That's it. And then baseball, the home run derby and the All-Star Game was the most watched All-Star event out of all the major sports. Which whatever is good, I guess.
Well, the Pro Bowl sucks.
Easy, I was gonna say easy to beat that one.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl's
Actually, the one I like to watch is hockey.
Oh, okay.
with the skills
So
competition.
I like the skills
Yeah.
competition, but the way they did the All-Star Game now, it's different. They like split them up in like multiple teams where it's 3-on-3.
I didn't watch. I didn't
It's
watch
the captain too. Don't they pick the teams
Yeah, yeah.
individually?
Yeah.
Like the captains.
It's a little different.
I always liked that though. They skill competition. They did the speed, the race. You know.
See, and I guess the basketball one, the skill competitions. So is the football one.
Yeah.
I mean, when they do the skill competition,
It's the game that's like we could do without the game.
Yeah.
I mean, basketball is 200 to 220.
Yes.
That's where baseball. It's a real baseball game. Like
Yeah.
you guys aren't just being all right. Here you go,
Yeah.
hit it. It's fucking 40 to 40 or something.
Well, what
Glad it
Halsey
wasn't.
from St. Louis was
throws
chucking
107.
103 just missiles, bro.
He's huge. You walk right past me.
He
His legs are
looks
huge.
he looks thick.
He's from
though.
Oklahoma. He's huge.
Yeah, he was throwing it pretty heavy.
Just see like you said, like the high school kids. Those guys are they're just huge. I don't realize
built
how
different.
how big they are. But
60 years they've had the All-Star Game. Stanton was the MVP of this year's All-Star Game. And I went and looked at some history of the All-Star Game. We'll wrap it up with this. How many multiple winners of the MVP do you think there have been in
60 years?
In 60 years. Well, there's been two that they did not have an MVP. So,
Really?
was that the tie year? The one in Milwaukee where they tied?
interestingly enough, this is actually a fun fact. 2 times no MVP awarded. 2002 and 2020. COVID.
Oh, okay.
Well, 2020 didn't have an All-Star game.
Right. So there was the only 2 years that they not.
So they gave that year.
But
they tied,
those
they gave
numbers,
them MVP?
2002 and 2020, there's only 2s and 0s in there. Kind of weird, yeah?
All right.
No? All right. Only a dumbass like me would.
What happened in 2002?
I didn't look. It just said not awarded.
Giants, Angels.
That's
Apparently,
all it
they
said.
were.
Not awarded.
They knew something.
How
I'm gonna
many?
say 5.
Okay.
60
5
years?
players have won it twice.
5 players have won it twice.
3.
Chad's right. It's 5.
5.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually was gonna go with 7 at first.
First awarded in 1962, shortstop Maury Wills for the Dodgers was the first MVP. Multiple winners are Willie Mays, 63 and 68 with the Giants. Steve Garvey, 74, 78 with the Dodgers. Gary Carter with the Expos, 81 and I believe 84. Cal Ripken Jr. in 91 and then in 2001, 10 years later.
When his
his last
in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did hit a home run, so
Yeah.
I guess you got to give it to him.
He did hit a home run. And Mike Trout in 14 and 15. So
Oh, okay.
since 1962, how many catchers? And I named one in there. How many catchers have won the All-Star MVP?
4.
2.
5.
Wow.
Gary Carter winning 2 of those. Terry Steinbach with the Oakland A's in 1988. Piazza in 96 with the Dodgers, and Sandy Alomar Jr. in 97. I'm not going to do every position, but there are some, 2 more. Third baseman. How many third basemen have won an MVP in those 60?
11.
11? I'm going with 5 just because the last 2 were 5.
Very close. 4. 66, Brooks Robinson with Baltimore. 67, Tony Perez. And Cincinnati, Bill Madlock with the Cubs in 75, and Bregman.
What about Cal Ripken?
Bregman.
In 2018.
What about Cal Ripken?
They didn't have him on there. He wasn't a third baseman, I guess.
Oh, because
A-Rod moved him to
short?
shortstop. So they're crediting him.
DH.
I mean, I guess 11, so it's not like I missed it by one.
Pitchers. This is the last one.
Pitchers are tough because, I mean, unless you're throwing.
Well, I know Pedro had to have that 1 year.
But the one
in Boston.
was that not 04? What was that 2000?
Was it when McGuire, Sosa?
When Ted Williams was out there when they rolled Ted Williams out there?
Yeah.
Was that 2000?
I think so.
It was the all-century team. It would have been the year before that.
99?
So 99.
So,
he
yes,
struck
Pedro
out
was
all
one.
three in
Yeah.
like 9 or 10 pitches.
Pedro was one, yes.
Then,
Did Kershaw snake one? 4.
No,
I'm going with 3.
6.
6. More pitchers
Yeah.
over position players?
Juan Marichal in 65, Don Sutton in the 77, Lamar Hoyt from San Diego in 85, Roger Clemens in 86 with the Red Sox, Pedro, it was 90, it was 99,
So last time 99, I guess.
and then Mariano Rivera in 2013.
Because his year, he was retiring,
yeah.
of course.
Some all-star facts.
Which he ran him out when he wasn't even closing a game.
Yes. Yes.
Might as well just vote
Yeah.
100% in the Hall of Fame, too.
What was the other thing I was going to see? You got with the end of the season, or not the second half coming up. I was like, I'm going to go look and just kind of see. I was looking at standings and stuff, and it just kind of threw me. Like, you would think that where you go, you would see. Like, I went to Yahoo, okay, and you would think standings would be something easy to find, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's at the top, you see it, but the first thing that whether with the lead story and then it's the betting odds.
Okay.
The betting odds have become more important.
Yes.
Which I find crazy. And it's like you go back to the Schwarber Pujols and like they're talking about people
are
betting,
pissed. Yes.
betting on Schwarber to make it through and win the home run derby. It's like, well, if you're betting on the home run derby, you need to get some
Calm
help.
it down. That's funny how you guys mentioned that about Schwarber because him not swinging that hard because I was trying to think of the same thing.
Well, it didn't look like he was trying to lift anything.
He rolled over a lot of
He
balls.
did.
But they gave him 2 extra swings with no time left. They snuck in 2 more.
Somebody broke it down to where
Was that John Boy again?
I don't know. No, some other guy. He'd had. I don't know if it was accurate, but it was his post was synced up to the pitches and the balls leaving the yard, and he'd actually tied Pujols, and they didn't give it to him.
Really?
So
I don't know. All I know is this year they didn't wait because in the years past you had to wait till it landed.
right,
And
or got
funny-
over.
And the funny part is, I had I saw the clip of the actual derby when I was throwing. I had no clue that umpire was right there. I was watching. He's like, one time he's like going like this, and then he goes, "You can throw it." I had no clue he was there.
And you were
I was
just
just
on-
Were you
throwing.
waiting for him at all? Or
No,
just
not at all. I was just throwing.
to hell with that guy.
Well, it wasn't. A, I didn't see him, and B, no one said anything, and C, they had a freaking minute left. I felt bad for the kids.
Overall performance, how do you think you did?
Not one ball.
See,
one ball.
He's a killer.
I'm not
best in the
saying it.
country.
I'm not saying those were down the middle of the time, but I didn't throw any balls.
Like not just that day.
Black's hittable though. Come on.
during the whole thing. I don't think my futures game was okay because those guys were taking a little bit sometimes on the outer half. But overall, I thought it performed pretty good.
What were you complimented? Anybody say, "Hey, this guy"?
Beltre said, "Good VP kid." I'm kid apparently.
Well, you keep
I'm not
calling
that
me
much-
coach. By the way, stop calling me
wrong with
coach. You can call me Jake.
Well, you don't look 33. They probably,
When's this kid hitting?
yeah.
No, the betting odds were what I saw.
Just take being called kid as long as
yeah,
you can.
yeah, exactly. It's
I'm old.
It's a compliment.
This old asshole over here.
Yeah.
They got the top 5 teams that they're projecting to win, or the betting odds were the Yankees of the AL are number 1, Dodgers number 1 in the NL. So we'll see. Top 5 there was San Diego, Milwaukee, Atlanta, the Mets, and the Dodgers in the NL.
San Diego because Tatis is coming back. Or?
I don't know.
That's definitely a good spark plug
Does
for
that-
those guys.
Bother you?
No, not at all.
Okay.
A little bit. Where's the Cardinals at on there?
They were. I think they were right behind.
Yeah.
Chicago, White Sox, the Rays, the Blue Jays, Astros, and Yankees in the AL. And I did see the report today. It is Thursday. of Kyler Murray's contract versus the payroll for the Oakland A's was just astonishing. I think he's set. You didn't see it?
No.
Okay, so Kyler Murray
more.
is just set to make $45.1 million a year. The Oakland A's payroll is $48 million.
Wow.
So I guess good on him for making the football decision. And what the fuck are the A's doing? What? Like, did they draft him to save money? That was one of my.
I guess so.
They knew he wasn't going to play baseball, so
Didn't he have to give like $2 million back? Too?
I don't
so.
know. Just, it's
Yeah.
the A's.
I think he gave it back, all of it.
I thought he had to give at least $2 million back over something, half of it.
Well, if he didn't sign, did he sign?
No, he did not sign.
I don't think so. I don't know how that worked
even know.
out.
Same
I don't know.
But the A's catcher won the MVP in the Futures game. Yeah, so.
We'll storm.
He'll be gone. He won't be an A.
No.
Yeah.
They just drafted another one, the Susak kid.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, no, the A's are. It's anyone's guess with the Oakland A's. Storm, I appreciate you coming on, dude, and supporting what we do.
Yes, appreciate you guys having me. This is a blast.
Dude. Yeah, we'll have to get it. You got a new coach over there? We can't say yet, or can we say at Clovis High School?
I believe, yeah, we do have a
Can
new
we say
coach,
it, or
JD
no?
Sales. Yes, Memorial coach for 5 years, I believe, and August 1 will be when he's announced the head coach of Clovis High School. So
do I have to cut that?
no,
Okay,
yeah,
I won't cut this then. All right.
So you'll be back.
Yes,
You will.
I'm-
He's
I'm-
one of your best friends.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna be back. Yes, yeah, we're
think
good friends.
I know I said we'd wrap it up, but everybody goes on the website SinCal Preps.
Perhaps yes.
You are often thrown out there to be the head coach at every program across the country, and I'm just curious. Like, you like being assistant coach?
Yes, and I'm pretty loyal to Clovis High School.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm pretty loyal. I like being a part of Clovis High. It's part I grew up in. Just dad coaching there, good friends with James Patrick and just the Patrick family. So I don't see me anything different besides maybe this thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, there might be a future where
Absolutely.
some pro team picks you
The
up.
thing is, I can't catch a bullpen to save my life, and I believe that's probably the kicker, I imagine, because Corey Miller, who's on our staff, he did it with the Cubs for 4 years, and so he caught bullpens and threw BP, and I don't think I can catch a bullpen. Some of these guys throwing sinkers at 97, I'd be on the field.
Now, well, maybe just the futures game and once a year.
Yeah,
you'll be okay with that.
Cool.
So all-star every year, dude.
Yeah.
No, but thank you for doing this. Good luck
you.
next season with
Thank you.
new staff and your group. And thanks, everybody, for staying tuned and listening to and supporting what we do here. That is another episode of the Hit or Die podcast.
Hit or die.